Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. And I figured I'd show you this. We'd start down here. This is my beacon mine, and it works really well. I mean, it's good. It's really good. Yeah. This is probably about, I'd say maybe 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes of mining, something like that. And we've got this entire thing mined out, double chests full of cobble and smooth stone and all sorts of goodies. So I set that up between episodes and did some mining down here. Now, today, I want to work on the road. This is something that's kind of been long overdue. Long overdue. I want to basically make a road that connects Altum to Anona. And I'm thinking it's going to be kind of like a cobble, mostly cobble and variants of it, but it'll be like a kind of like a stone-ish pathway. Like if cobblestone wasn't actually a block in the game, I would call it a cobblestone pathway, but it's going to be more than just cobble. That probably doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I'm just kind of rambling. But anyway, so we're going to need some materials for this, and I decided to grab a bunch of stuff down from the mine. We're just going to put all this diorite away because I don't need it. I don't think it would fit this particular project. We are definitely going to need a fair amount of cobble. Let's just do... that should be enough, I think. And then in here we've got smooth stone. I really don't think we're going to need any of that, honestly. The cobble we will need, for sure. So we'll bring that with. And then I think I'll definitely want some gravel. That should be enough, I hope. And what else? Maybe a little andesite. Just regular old andesite could look pretty good. And maybe even... ooh, I'm actually kind of low on mossy. Maybe we'll just go without mossy. Yeah, I think that'll probably be good. That'll probably be a good... that'll at least be enough to get us started. So I've kind of marked out the road and where it's going to go. Let's actually put my other... my elytra. Let's take that off and put my chest plate on instead. I've marked out the road as to where it's going to go. You're going to kind of come out here, and then the road will start here, and you can see these cobblestone markers, if you will. That's where the road's going to go. So up here, it's going to be 3 wide, and then it's going to relatively quickly change so that it's a lot, it's probably 2 wide, I think. 2 wide just seems like a really good kind of size for a path, if you ask me. Now, I would consider using the path block that they added in 1.9, but we have to do at least some of this pathway through this podzol, and it just doesn't look as good when it's next to podzol. It looks much better when it's next to grass. So that's something to kind of bear in mind. Let's maybe do something like that, and then this will kind of come down here, and we'll go like this, I think. And then the path will kind of get thinner as it goes over here. And then it'll kind of turn. You may remember, I've talked about it a couple times as far as pathways, but as far as pathways go, if you make them kind of windy, they're going to look less developed. Well, maybe not developed. They're going to look less maintained, which is good. That's kind of the look that we want here. We want a pathway that doesn't look, super well maintained. We want kind of a rural looking thing because it's leading to the farming village. You know what I mean? This isn't going to like another major city. This is going to the farming village. So it'll kind of come down here, and then maybe over here, it'll kind of shift a little bit and come down. Actually, I'm kind of looking at this, and I'm thinking like right here, we probably want the path to to kind of wind around, and these guys should probably be full-blown. Yeah. So we'll do this, I think. Now, I'm going to go back and change out a lot of these materials as we go, so it won't be cobble this entire way, but it will be cobble at least for starters. Let's do that. Maybe that one there should probably be cobble. Yep, that looks good. And that can stay as cobble as well, maybe? Or do I want to... I think I want to change these out for grass. Like that. So it kind of turns right here and then comes around. Oh! Yeah, whatever. And then we'll just kind of get it going this way. So now I need to dig this pathway going all the way over there. So let me get some progress for you, and I will be back momentarily. All right, guys, I am back. So, pathway is all laid out and in place. It's not done as far as the detail part of it goes, but it's all in place. Right here, we're going to have a little bridge, a little 3-wide bridge that kind of crosses right here, I think. We may... I'm actually looking at this, and I'm thinking maybe we want to have it be a 2-wide bridge instead. I think that would feel better. Yeah, we'll go with a 2-wide bridge instead. And I'm just going to put those slabs down right there for the moment. But this pathway kind of winds all the way over here. All the way back. Somewhere is... I'm not sure exactly where the skeleton farm is. Oh, actually, I think this is it right here. Yeah. That's the other thing we're going to do. We're going to connect these two pathways up. I knew it was somewhere around here. So I think like right about here or so, I'm going to go ahead and make another path that kind of leads off this way. So the path will kind of split right here. I need a lot more cobblestone, though. I'm running very, very low right now. Here we go. Got a big double chest full of stuff. Actually, the rest of my cobble's in my ender chest, isn't it? But we'll make a little pathway that kind of leads off this way, too. About like so. Yeah, that seems good. That seems good. Size-wise and all that kind of good stuff. So there we go. And then this pathway will lead over. Let's maybe make those like so. Yeah, that's good. And then I need more slabs. And more cobble. Beautiful. Okay. So you can kind of see it's getting there. It's coming along. Let's break that out and put grass like this, I think. Yeah, I like that better. Maybe like that. Yep, awesome. And then this path will kind of go off in this direction, and you can see the entrance to the skeleton farm, like right here. So that's where this path is ultimately going to lead. And then eventually, it'll kind of work its way around here, go past the skeleton farm, and I'll make a proper entrance for the skeleton farm. Maybe we'll tackle that in the next episode, we'll see. But it's going to come back this way, go all the way along here, and then right down here, it's going to connect into the village. So there'll be a bridge right here and a bridge over there as well. So that's kind of the plan for this path. So let me get to work on that, and I'll come back to you. All right, guys, this part of the road is now in as well. It kind of comes up this way and then wraps over here. Goes past the skeleton farm. Why is this... I'll just do it that way. Comes through the woods over here. I can get rid of some of these leaves so this path is more horse safe once we actually get a trusty steed, that is. I feel like that should be cobble. There we go. and then wraps down here as well. So this way kind of leads to the skeleton farm, and this way leads directly to Altum. And I think that works relatively well. We've got a whole bunch of other work that needs to be done to kind of detail this path and make it a lot more interesting. Because right now it's just a plain old cobblestone path, nothing too incredibly exciting. So that's the next step. Let's get to it and see what we can come up with. Alright guys, I am back and I got a nice layer of andesite applied. You can already see it already looks better than it did, without a doubt. And I did the entire path, so the one that goes over there by the skeleton farm is also finished, as far as the andesite goes. And this goes all the way to Altum. And I'm honestly almost tempted just to leave it like this. We could mix some gravel into it, which I don't think would look bad. I think I kind of want an andesite block there. There we go. And maybe here and here as well. Just kind of thicken that up a little bit. Yeah, that's better. But you can see this kind of goes all along the whole way, and it looks pretty good. Like, I'm pretty good with it. Now, gravel could make it a little more interesting, possibly. It's an option. I do like the way that gravel, andesite, and cobble all kind of look together. So let's kind of try that out here and just see, is that better? I think it is. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Sometimes it's hard to decide what you like better. What I like about the gravel is I think the gravel definitely looks better, but as you're walking, then you get that kind of gravel sound from time to time, which isn't quite as good, but I like it. I like the way it looks. I think I'm going to go with it. I mean, I gathered a ton of gravel specifically for this project down in the mines, so I'm going to go for it. So let me go ahead and mix some gravel in here, guys, and I will come back in just a little bit. All right, guys, that is done. Check it out. This is not a bad looking little road. You know, it's something. And it just kind of winds all the way through the forest and does what it needs to do. I think I need to mark this a little bit better. But as I said, we're going to do most of that, I think, in the next episode. Or we're going to build an entrance to this. Well, maybe not in the next episode, but soon we're going to build an actual entrance to this place. I do want to bone meal some of this, and we're just going to kind of bone meal along the pathway just to try and decorate it a little bit. Ideally, I would bone meal like this entire area, but I don't know that I actually have the bones for that right now. We'll do what we can. I mean, I've got a lot of bones, but still, this is a lot of ground to bone meal. If I'm going to bone meal the entire area, we'll do what we can though. So I'm going to go through bone meal and stuff, and then I'll come back. All right, guys, I am back. Now, imagine we're crossing a bridge here, but just check out how much better this pathway looks now that we've bone mealed everything along the way. You get little spots of color from the flowers, some of this height differential from the too tall grass and stuff like that. Just compare that to what we were just looking at minutes ago, and man, look at this. Such a big difference, and such a small little thing. And one thing we can do, I mean, we don't really need a ton of bushes because we've got the spruce here for trees and foliage and stuff, but we could potentially do some bushes like this, you know, with birch leaves, just because it's a different color, just to kind of, and maybe we want to have it kind of like it's wrapping along the trees or coming down the hills a little bit. You know what I mean? And we're using birch leaves just because it's a different color than everything else in this biome. The oak leaves really kind of end up blending in with everything else. Let's maybe do something like that along that hill. This needs to kind of come up and over. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. So I'm just kind of going along here with some birch. I don't know that I'm going to do this with the whole pathway, mostly because I really don't have enough birch leaves to do it everywhere. But just little spots here and there. Kind of spamming just a couple of birch leaves and things like that. And it can kind of help. As you can see, as you're kind of coming along here, you get little bits of color and life. And that's really what it's all about. It's just kind of trying to make this area feel a lot more alive than it was. And I think we're actually I think we're fairly successful so far. I think this has gone pretty well. We'll maybe get some foliage in over here. Maybe use some of the oak leaves. That's going to drive me absolutely crazy. There we go. Floating trees. The bane of my existence. Okay. So maybe we'll do something kind of like that right there. And then this is the castle right here. So maybe here we do something a little bit bigger. You know what I mean? Just some leaves like in here. Just along that hill. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I'm loving it. Maybe get a little bit of flowing foliage going along there. Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere, my friends. We are getting somewhere indeed. Let's maybe put some leaves down in here. There we go. You can see how it's all kind of coming together at this point and really starting to feel like a path, like a road, and not just one that you kind of, this is the kind of path that you want to walk along. You just kind of want to go and relax and travel and see the world. And what I want to do is I want to have kind of points of interest, I guess, along this path in certain spots. This would be a great spot for some birch leaves. I want to have some kind of points of interest as you go along where there's interesting stuff kind of sprinkled around and that kind of fits with the lore. Maybe some like wrecked carts, kind of like what we did on Hermitcraft relatively recently, actually, for that path that leads to the Dwarven base. Maybe we have like some broken down merchant carts or something. Maybe we have some, maybe there's like a bandit camp hiding somewhere. Just stuff like that. Little things that really serve no purpose other than to make things beautiful and interesting and cool to look at and explore. I think that's really kind of the joy of Minecraft for me, is just really making the world look beautiful and interesting. So there we go. We've got all the leaves in place. We got everything bone mealed. We've got the path in place. And I think all that's really left to do is kind of put the stuff away. And then I'd like to have fences along a couple parts and maybe lights. But for the lights, I think I want to use glowstone. I don't want to use torches. I want them to be kind of like essentially street lights, I guess would be the way to put it. Let's see. Let's put my elytra back on, and let's bone meal or there. Sure, that'll do. I think. Can I make that? Yes, good. I think I can do this. I believe in myself. Oh, check it out. That was beautiful. Look at that. Ho, 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 ho. I love the elytra so much. It makes getting around just so much faster. Like, there's a time and a place for everything. There are times when you want to travel along the road And there are also times when you are in the middle of a project and you want to just run back and forth and grab something that you forgot. You know what I mean? The elytra is perfect for when you just want to get back to where you were because you forgot to grab that one thing. Whereas the roads that we're building right now, those are good for when you just kind of want to go out and enjoy the world and kind of see things and immerse yourself, if you will. So it really all just kind of depends on what your goal is when you're traveling. You know, here we can clearly see the path, and there's my chest with all my stuff in it. Let's just grab... Can I grab all of this? I think I can fit all this in my inventory. So I'm just going to break it with an axe. That's easier. There we go. Awesome. Now, tall tree. Anywhere. I just need one tall tree. That tree looks tall. It's tall, but it was too tall. That tree was too tall for me. Let's do this one. There we go. That should do. And can we jump up here? Yeah. And we can almost make this. In fact, we can basically make that. Ah, I love it. Adding roads to your world adds so much immersion. Just so much. Like, your world really starts to feel like something to be proud of once you have roads in place. And it's a weird thing because roads are such a simple thing, and half the time you don't even really think about them. Like, you don't, when you're planning a build, when you're necessarily, or, well, I shouldn't say that. When you're planning a large-scale thing, like kingdoms, for example, you know, how we've got all the different kingdoms that we're planning and, all that kind of stuff, you generally don't put a huge amount of thought into roads. You know, that's not the part of the project that you get excited for. You don't spend time reflecting and thinking, man, I can't wait to build that road, because it's just not the main focus. But it's a little detail that really kind of makes all the difference when it comes to worlds. Let's maybe grab some oak fences, and we'll kind of work a couple of those in along the way, I think. And it is... Can I sleep? Yes. Beautiful. And you kind of just... I don't know. It just adds so much to the world. Just having those roads and having the ability to see how everything is kind of interconnected and interwoven and stuff like that, it really makes such a huge difference. So what I want to do now is I just want to kind of work a couple fences in, just in a very small number of places, right? So we want to give the impression that the road is kind of not necessarily well-maintained, but well-developed. And in order to do that... Sorry, Flower, you gotta go. I can, however, put you there. There we go. And one way we can do that is by adding fences along the way. And the reason that makes it feel a bit more developed is because fences are very, very man-made. You know what I mean? You're not going to naturally see a fence anywhere, ever, whether it's in Minecraft or in real life. But we can space them out pretty far, and then it keeps the road from feeling constrained, which is also something that we want to avoid. We don't want the road to feel like there are fences everywhere, because that's just not going to be good. But we can kind of put these in place, and not only will it kind of help guide you along the way, it will also really kind of add the sense that it's a bit more developed. Maybe we can put one here? And then, oh, I just realized this is our skeleton farm. This is not a good place for these leaves. But I'm almost kind of thinking we don't want a whole lot of fences along this back one that goes to the skeleton farm, because I'm thinking that's the main road, and this is kind of like a more of a pathway than a road for this for this particular little bit right here. So maybe we do a couple fences there. And then I'm kind of thinking I might take some of this and change this coarse dirt out for regular dirt. Let's maybe put a fence along here. Maybe we'll do that whole big long thing as one fence. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay. So we've got our fences that kind of go along here a little bit. We can maybe do something along those lines. I think that's too much. We'll just do the one there. And that's good. And then we need to come over here. Oh, I get out of the water. There we go. And we need to put our fences along here as well. We already did this bit, right? Yeah, I can see the fences there. It would make sense for there to be a fence here along this river or lake or pond, I suppose. I suppose it would be a pond. It's not really big and it doesn't go anywhere, so it's not a river, and it's a little too small to be a lake. So yeah, pond, I guess. And then we'll just kind of do something like that. And we've got these little fences along there as well. We could use glowstone under some of these leaves to hide lighting, but I'm kind of thinking that I want like actual light poles. And I think I may have already said that, but either way, we got a lot done. We got this whole road all done and dusted, as my friend Mumbo would say. So there we go. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.